Oh, wow. Oh, dear.
Did you ever wonder what those fancy looking things are in the coffee aisles when you're doing your grocery shop? The Dolce Gusto and the K-Cup, what are those things? Those are the coffee pods. This is a new way of brewing and consuming your coffee. Back in the early 90s, a gentleman named John Sylvan left his sales job to work and invent a new kind of coffee, brewing a single cup of coffee from a single capsule of ground coffee. Right? These single serve containers only prepare 1 cup of coffee at a time. The concept has given rise to a multi-billion-dollar competitive industry, adding to tons of millions of coffee pods being used every day and filling the landfill. The first patent was acquired and a company was created by the name of Keurig, which means excellence. And the patent expired in 2013, which meant that now that the patent was expired, everybody could make every kind of coffee, every kind of pod for every kind of machine. So this gave a rise to a problem. So Keurig and other companies took inspiration from the printer market, adopted what you call a bait and hook business model. You see, printer companies don't really make any money from their printers. More than 80 to 90% of their profits are made from their ink cartridges, which are sold at exorbitant prices and are not made at a very good quality. Hence, you cannot really refill them and use them again. This is also called the razor blade business model, where each company produces its own copyright style of coffee pods, printer cartridges, or their own style of coffee pods, which can only be used in their own machine. Now that you have spent money and you have arranged for a machine, it becomes a little difficult for you to use any other type of pods. So just like the printers, the machines are pretty cheap to buy, but the cartridges, the ink cartridges, and the coffee pods are pretty expensive. These pods are so expensive that people have actually created their own refillable pods for each machine. So they are now available on Alibaba, AliExpress, and you can buy them online and you can use them for your own machine. But to use these pods and prepare them for each and every coffee brewing, you have to have a proper good quality grinder so that you can fine tune your coffee to get the optimal taste out of your coffee pods. Plus, each pod has to be washed, cleaned, and then refilled, and then tamped slightly, and then you have to apply a sticker on top of it to prepare it for your next coffee, which sort of defeats the argument which these coffee pods are supposed to offer you. Now I'm going to put my prejudices aside and tell you what they actually taste like. I don't really own a pod machine because I don't drink coffee from pods. But to give you a better idea of how they actually taste and your experience with these pods, I'm going to give you a link to a video from my idol, James Hoffman. You'll see a link up over there. He has done an extensive vlog on all the Nespresso pods available right now in the market. You should get a pretty good idea of what you're dealing with when you buy a pod machine. A lot of friends have said to me that these coffee pods actually taste very nice. The taste is very nice. The coffee is very sweet and it's very delicious and this and that, and it does not taste at all like an espresso. That's mainly because pod machines don't really produce espresso shots. A pod contains about 5 to 6 grams of ground coffee in it, and out of it, the pod machine produces about 60 to 80 ml of coffee, which is not really espresso territory. Plus the pressure which is being used to percolate and brew this coffee is 2 to 3 bar. So it's not really, you can't really call that an espresso with a little bit of pressure. But just like instant coffee, coffee pods have now developed special flavors and specialty coffee pods and single origin coffee pods that you can buy and that you can get from anywhere. The Ethiopia and the Guatemala and the Sidamo and all that. So that's also available. But now I would like to hear from you guys. Do you own a coffee pod machine? If you do, which one is it? Do you like the Dolce Gusto? Do you like the Nespresso, simple Nespresso pods? Or do you have some specialty coffee pod machines that are now available in the market? And what kind of pods do you like to use? Or do you use those reusable coffee pods? If you do, what is your experience with them? Are they any good? Do they taste any better than the actual pods that are available in the market, or not? And if you're going to go through all that trouble of making and filling up your coffee pod and getting a coffee shot every single time, don't you think that you would be better off with a bean to cup machine, a simple bean to cup machine? Give me your opinions. Tell me about your opinions in the comments below. Right now, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.